Charles Oliveira's really good, man.
Yeah.
Really good. For him to starch him like that with essentially one punch it's extraordinary.
But with me coming up, he was like, I don't have to take this risk. I'm gonna move up to the 170. I'm gonna try to get another belt, and that's all, because he knows that I'm dangerous. He knows that I'm gonna put him to sleep. Even Khabib. The only reason they don't want me to fight against him, because they know that
tensions between Ilia Topuria and Islam Makhachev are reaching a boiling point. Just hours ago, the two reportedly had a heated altercation at an airport. Things escalated further when a video surfaced of Ilia allegedly fighting off 3 of Islam's supporters. UFC commentator Joe Rogan weighed in on his podcast, urging the UFC to book the fight immediately. "You can't let this one pass," Rogan said. "Topuria is already swinging on Islam's guys. This fight needs to happen now, not later." With emotions running high and real animosity brewing, fans are calling for the UFC to capitalize on this intense rivalry fast.
Around, I think in the division, stylistically, I honestly see Islam just like dominating all these guys. Obviously, Justin always has that knockout chance. He always has that power. And then Arman, that first fight was so good, so close.
The airport altercation happened less than 24 hours after another viral clip surfaced from a private Neilk Boys stream. In the video, Ilia Topuria is seen striking 3 men after they mentioned Islam Makhachev was their favorite fighter. One of them, sitting beside Topuria, made a joke comparing Makhachev to Khabib. Topuria asked him to repeat it, then suddenly stood up and started swinging. The first punch landed clean, the second man tried to block but was dropped, and the third, while backing away, was still clipped on the jaw. The Neilk crew quickly ended the stream, and later apologized, saying they never expected that reaction.
Hey, my God. That was light. Come on, you're good. I'm like scared to hit him because I know he's gonna hit him hard. Oh!
Since then, the fallout has only intensified. While Islam Makhachev has yet to make a full statement, his teammate Zubaira Tukhugov posted on Instagram, "Topuria thinks he's a champion because he hit kids." Later that night, Arman Tsarukyan tweeted, "El Matador?" More like El Problem, which Islam then reposted. Meanwhile, Topuria hasn't stayed silent. On his Instagram story, he wrote, "No one disrespects me and walks away without consequences." Though his team has declined interviews, they released a statement claiming Ilia was provoked and acted instinctively in response to the situation.
You have 2 guys that are stars in the same area. It's Anderson Silva, George St. Pierre all over again. Who would have won? George St. Pierre, Anderson Silva. That debate still goes on. I look at that fight and I say Islam, but Ilia's the one that pushed for the fight. When we look back at this situation, the fact that Ilia entered the division, gave his belt up, tried to get the fight, I think it's going to create a real problem in the future when you're debating these two. And we got a source saying the same time that Islam knew he was going to go to 170 but didn't say anything.
At the heart of all the tension lies the highly anticipated super fight between Ilia Topuria and Islam Makhachev. Following Topuria's dominant performance during International Fight Week, Dana White hinted on the Full Send podcast that a showdown between the two could be next, if Islam captures the welterweight title. "If Islam wins, you immediately have a super fight with Ilia," Dana said. Since then, every update from both camps has felt like a slow-burning build-up to that clash. Fan bases have taken the rivalry to another level online. Topuria supporters accuse Islam of playing it safe in past fights, claiming he coasts to decision wins. In response, Islam fans argue that Ilia has yet to face an elite-level wrestler. The back and forth has escalated dramatically, especially after the Neilk stream incident. What was once a potential title bout now feels personal, with many comparing the growing animosity to the infamous Khabib versus McGregor rivalry.
The fight would be Ilia versus Islam too. Well, the other thing is too is that Islam moves up, and obviously if Islam won the title, you know, you immediately have a super fight with him and Ilia. So
The Neilk boys haven't escaped backlash either. Their long-standing loyalty to Islam Makhachev is well documented. Kyle Forgerd and Steve Wilduet traveled to Dagestan during the UFC 284 buildup, filming multiple videos with Islam. In those clips, they trained with him, joined his team for prayer, and openly called him their favorite fighter. That made things worse when they invited Ilia Topuria on a live stream and made lighthearted jokes about Islam's dominance. The mood quickly shifted when things turned physical. Joe Rogan's response was blunt. That's not how you talk to a guy like Topuria. He emphasized that Ilia doesn't put on a show for the cameras. He's the real deal. If he swings, he means it, Rogan said. You poke him about Islam, and he'll respond with his fists. The incident has only deepened the rift between both sides and intensified calls for the fight.
This was meant to be Islam, that was the big talk, but he moved up to welterweight. Do you believe he moved up to welterweight to avoid you, or because he has his own goals?
Because he has his own goals. This is what I think.
Do you still think that's a fight that should happen? You guys are both forging legacies in different weight divisions. Do you think that's a massive fight that should happen?
We'll see how he does in the welterweight division. If he wins the title, I win the title in the lightweight division. Maybe I move up or he comes down to the lightweight division and we have the fight that everyone wants to see.
Is there any headway on Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena if that title fight's going to get booked soon?
I'll let you know when we get it done.
And just kind of piggybacking off that, obviously with Ilia's win, everyone's really excited to potentially see a future fight with him and Islam. I know that's the fight that people wanted. Ilia said earlier this week that if Islam loses that fight, he wouldn't give the opportunity for Islam to fight for his belt again. Is that something you'd bypass? Because that seems like such a big fight to make.
I mean, this is all talk.
Speculative.
You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly.
But I imagine that's a fight you guys would want to make at some point. I mean, just the magnitude of it.
Ilia Topuria. He said, you know what? I want to go up to 155 pounds, fight the #1 contender, and then if he wins that, then he fights Islam. I think that's good, brother. I think he deserves.
I think if he move up and he beat somebody like Dustin Poirier or Charles Oliveira, he's next. Why not? Because there is nobody.
So you don't think right now Ilia deserves a shot at 155 pounds?
Without fighting in 155? Without? No, I don't agree. Because Islam already give chance. And people talk bad about like, oh, he fight 2 times with Volkanovski.
Islam versus Topuria. I think I'm backing Islam, innit? I'm still going to back Islam. Like I said, we've seen glimpses of his grappling. You haven't seen his grappling against anyone as good as Islam. Like, don't forget, Islam subbed Oliveira. So there is levels what his abilities are. So I'd say, on the feet, Ilia will be problems for Islam because he cracks, innit?
Islam is not the champion essentially is supposed to look like. Make the calls, go out there, deliver on the calls. Then all of a sudden vacates the title. I mean, how do you feel? Because you said earlier, like you were looking at him and going, there's holes here.
I think it's good for the sport, to be honest with you. I mean, him and Islam, people really want to see that. Everybody has their own style, and it seems like his style is just doing what he did. Honestly, I believe Islam is just a little too much for him, but I'm also a fan, so I would love to see.
You said that you're ready to go up a division. There's a tweet from Ilia Topuria that he can go up the weight and he can beat you with no problem. What do you think about that?
Не знаю, еще столько соперников, и все хотят меня там в первом, во втором раунде финишировать, все говорят об этом, но я же сказал, сделайте 70 килограмм, заходите в клетку и посмотрим, кто кого финиширует.